The Spiritual Gifts of Winter, Embracing the Season of Stillness and Renewal Guide. Winter arrives as nature's most profound teacher, inviting us into a sacred season of introspection and spiritual deepening. While modern life rushes forward relentlessly, winter whispers an ancient wisdom, that there is deep value in slowing down, turning inward, and honoring the cycles of rest and renewal. This guide explores the spiritual treasures hidden within winter's cold embrace, revealing how this seemingly barren season actually overflows with opportunities for profound personal transformation and soul nourishment. Chapter 1. Winter's Sacred Stillness. In this chapter, we delve into the profound quietude that winter naturally provides. This stillness is not an absence but a potent presence, inviting us to pause, reflect, and listen to the whispers of our inner landscape. Unlike mere silence, winter's stillness offers a unique invitation to shed distractions and confront the essence of being. It is within this sacred pause that we can truly uncover deeper truths and foster genuine spiritual growth. The transformative power of winter's stillness lies in its ability to strip away the external busyness and sensory overload of other seasons. While spring bursts with life, summer beckons with adventure, and autumn vibrates with harvest, winter compels us to look inward. It is a time for deep contemplation, nurturing creativity, and allowing buried insights to surface. This unique seasonal rhythm grants us the spiritual gifts of patience, resilience, and a profound connection to the natural cycles of death and rebirth, ultimately guiding us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Winter's quiet invitation. As temperatures drop and landscapes transform into pristine white expanses, nature enters a profound state of rest and retreat. Trees shed their leaves, animals hibernate, and the earth itself seems to exhale and settle into quietude. This seasonal slowdown is far from mere dormancy, it's a sacred pause, a deliberate turning inward that holds immense spiritual significance. It invites us to mirror nature's profound wisdom in our own lives, recognizing that periods of rest are essential for renewal and growth, not just an absence of activity. The hush that blankets winter mornings carries a spiritual message. It's time to slow down and listen deeply. In this silence, we are offered a rare opportunity to peel back the layers of external distraction and finally hear the whispers of our soul, the subtle guidance of our intuition, and the ancient rhythms of our true nature that often get drowned out by life's incessant noise. Winter's spiritual transformation teaches us the value of introspection, reminding us that true vitality can emerge from a period of quiet gestation, just as seeds lie dormant before bursting forth in spring. This quiet invitation manifests in our daily lives through subtle nudges, a desire for cozy evenings indoors, a craving for warmer, comforting foods, or a natural inclination to reduce social engagements. To truly listen means acknowledging these inner shifts and honoring them, rather than resisting in favor of year-round frenetic pace. Practically, we can respond by creating intentional spaces for reflection, journaling, gentle meditation, or simply sitting in silence. It's about prioritizing self-care, embracing slower routines, and allowing ourselves the grace to withdraw and replenish our inner resources. By doing so, we don't just endure winter, we leverage its inherent energy for profound personal and spiritual rejuvenation, emerging more grounded and attuned to our authentic selves. To say that stillness is the language of winter's soul implies a deeper communication than mere absence of sound. It's not just the quiet of a room, but a profound, resonant calm that permeates everything. Learning to speak this language involves more than just physical silence. It requires a mindful tuning into the subtle vibrations of peace, a letting go of the internal chatter that often fills our minds. Winter's stillness communicates messages of resilience, of necessary rest, and the promise of hidden life awaiting its moment to re-emerge. It teaches us that true strength often lies not in constant action, but in patient observation and deep integration. This differs from ordinary quiet or silence because it's an active, purposeful state of being, a sacred space where the external world recedes, allowing the inner world to come into sharp focus and offer profound insights. Cultivating and honoring this sacred stillness in our daily lives means intentionally carving out moments to disconnect from the relentless pace of modern life. Practically, this could manifest as beginning the day with 5 minutes of silent contemplation before checking any devices, taking a technology-free walk in nature, or simply dedicating a few minutes to focused breathing exercises in a quiet space. It's about recognizing the spiritual value of these pauses and protecting them fiercely. Embracing this involves consciously slowing down our movements, listening more intently to the subtle cues around us, and allowing ourselves the grace to not always be productive. By doing so, we not only replenish our energy reserves but also foster a deeper connection to our inner wisdom, mirroring winter's profound ability to renew and transform in its quietude. Embracing the darkness to find light. The winter solstice, the longest night of the year, represents a powerful turning point in nature's cycle. Though darkness reaches its peak, this marks the exact moment when light begins its return journey. The solstice teaches us that our darkest moments often precede our greatest breakthroughs. Darkness is sacred space. Rather than fearing winter's long nights, we can embrace them as a spiritual cradle, a fertile void where new inspiration gestates and inner light is born. In darkness, our other senses awaken, our intuition sharpens, and we discover luminous truths that only reveal themselves in shadow. Ancient wisdom traditions across cultures have honored winter's darkness as essential for spiritual renewal. The Norse celebrated Yule, the Celts marked the solstice with fire festivals, and indigenous peoples recognized this time as sacred for dreaming and visioning. We too can reclaim darkness as a spiritual ally rather than something to escape. Chapter 2. The Inner Work of Winter. In the hush of winter, inner work takes on a profound significance, distinct from the outward-focused energy of other seasons. While spring and summer beckon us to externalize, to build and expand, winter invites us inward, encouraging introspection and deep self-reflection. This season's quiet solitude naturally supports activities like journaling, meditation, dream analysis, and shadow work, exploring the less visible aspects of ourselves. The dormant energy of the natural world mirrors our own need for rest and regeneration, creating an unparalleled environment for personal transformation as we shed old layers and cultivate new insights. Recognizing the call to inner work often manifests as a subtle yearning for quiet, a feeling of being stretched thin, or a desire for deeper meaning. To create the ideal conditions for this spiritual labor, cultivate a sacred space within your home, a cozy nook for reflection, perhaps lit by candles. Embrace slow living, allowing ample time for rest, nurturing meals, and disconnecting from external demands. Practical steps include setting clear boundaries, engaging in gentle movement like yoga, and creating rituals that honor the stillness and introspection that winter so generously offers. The 7 R's of winter energy. Winter's spiritual medicine can be understood through 7 transformative principles that guide our inner work during this season. Principle number 1. Release. Like trees shedding leaves, we practice letting go of what no longer serves us, old patterns, limiting beliefs, stale relationships, and accumulated emotional debris. Principle number 2. Rest. Deep, restorative rest that goes beyond sleep, a spiritual settling that allows our nervous system to recalibrate and our soul to catch up with our body. Principle number 3. Restoration. Actively replenishing our depleted reserves, body, mind, heart, and spirit, through nourishing practices, gentle movement, and soul care. Principle number 4. Readjustment. Realigning with our authentic values and true north after months of external demands pulling us off course. Principle number 5. Reflection. Contemplating the year past, extracting wisdom from experiences, and gaining perspective on our journey's arc. Principle number 6. Reintegration. Bringing fragmented parts of ourselves back into wholeness, healing inner divisions, and cultivating integration. Principle number 7. Regeneration. Quietly preparing for new growth, planting seeds of intention, nurturing emerging visions, and building capacity for spring's expansion. Winter is the soul's season of rooting and ring building. In winter, trees appear dormant and lifeless, yet beneath the frozen earth, their roots are growing deeper and stronger. Inside their trunks, they're adding growth rings, layers of strength built in darkness that will support next season's visible expansion. Our spiritual life follows this same pattern. Winter is when we develop our invisible architecture, the inner strength, wisdom, and depth that will sustain us through future challenges and enable our eventual blooming. Deepening practices. Note: daily meditation to strengthen your connection to stillness. Note: contemplative journaling to excavate deeper truths. Note: prayer or sacred reading to root into something greater. Note: study of spiritual texts to build wisdom. Note: silence retreats to hear your soul's voice. The most important development occurs in the invisible realms, in roots we cannot see, in rings forming silently, in souls deepening their capacity to hold light. Just as each growth ring of a tree tells a story of its past seasons, the lean years, the abundant years, the droughts, the storms, our own inner growth rings chronicle our life experiences. Every challenge overcome, every lesson learned, every moment of resilience in the face of adversity adds a new, indelible layer to our inner strength. These rings are not just markers of time, but testimonies to our enduring capacity to adapt, heal, and gather wisdom. During the spiritual winter, we are invited to consciously engage in this ring-building process. This involves introspection, reflection, and intentional cultivation of our inner landscape. Practices such as journaling about our emotional responses to past events, meditating on our personal resilience, or engaging in deep, reflective reading can help us integrate these experiences, transforming them into foundational wisdom. By embracing stillness and quiet contemplation, we can solidify the profound inner architecture that will not only sustain us but also enable us to branch out and flourish more authentically in the seasons to come. Chapter 3. Rituals and Practices to Harness Winter's Spiritual Power. 2. Harness. Winter's spiritual power is not about forcing growth or controlling the season's inherent slowness, but rather about consciously aligning with its natural currents. Unlike the outward-focused energy of spring or summer, winter calls for an inward journey. It's an invitation to cultivate patience, to listen to the subtle whispers of intuition, and to surrender to the rhythms of rest and regeneration. This approach differs from other seasons as it emphasizes reception over projection, introspection over action, allowing us to draw deep nourishment from the quietude rather than pushing against it. The relationship between ritual and seasonal energy is profound. Intentional practices, whether they are daily meditations, journaling, silent contemplation, or creative expressions, serve as sacred anchors during this time of deep withdrawal. By engaging in these rituals, we create a sacred container for winter's transformative energies. They help us to consciously attune to the season's natural rhythms, the longer nights, the introspective mood, the call for stillness. This alignment amplifies winter's potential for profound inner work, enabling us to integrate its lessons and emerge with renewed clarity and purpose, ready for the awakening of spring. Mindful rituals to raise your vibe. Winter invites us to create intentional rituals that honor the season's energy and elevate our spiritual frequency. These simple yet profound practices help us align with winter's gifts. Sacred candlelight. Light candles each evening as the sun sets, symbolizing your own inner light persisting through darkness. Speak intentions or prayers as you light them, making it a daily ceremony of hope and warmth. Intentional nourishment. Transform your hot beverage ritual into a mindfulness practice. As you sip tea or cocoa, consciously receive its warmth as nourishment for both body and soul. Pause, breathe, and be present. Daily divination. Begin each morning by journaling your dreams and pulling a tarot or oracle card. This practice opens channels of intuition and helps you connect with inner wisdom that speaks most clearly in winter's quiet. Connecting with fire and water elements. Winter's spiritual energy is intimately connected to two powerful elements that offer different but complementary gifts to our inner work. Fire, the spark within. Fire represents passion, creativity, and transformation. Even in winter's cold, we must tend our inner flame. Light fires in your fireplace, burn candles with intention, or use a fire meditation. Move your body with dance or yoga to stoke your metabolic fire. Let fire remind you that warmth comes from within, and creativity burns brightest when we give it focused attention. Water, depths of reflection. Water symbolizes reflection, emotional depth, and fluidity. Winter's water element appears as snow, ice, and frost, water in its most contemplative states. Embrace stillness like a frozen pond reflecting sky. Take ritual baths to honor water's cleansing power. Practice crying as emotional release. Let water teach you about holding space for all feelings without rushing to change them. Chapter 4. Winter's Lessons for Spiritual Growth. Winter, with its stark landscapes and longer nights, offers unique spiritual lessons that other seasons often mask. It teaches us the profound beauty of stillness, the necessity of rest, and the power found in turning inward. Unlike the vibrant expansion of spring or the abundant outward expression of summer, winter invites a deeper contemplation of our inner world. Through the experience of cold, darkness, and dormancy, we learn resilience, patience, and the understanding that growth does not always manifest outwardly. It is a season that highlights the cycle of life and the inherent wisdom in periods of quietude and introspection. These profound lessons are not confined to the winter months, they serve as foundational pillars for our ongoing spiritual evolution and resilience throughout our entire life journey. By embracing winter's wisdom, we cultivate a deep well of inner strength, preparing ourselves to navigate challenges with grace and foresight. The introspection fostered during this season helps us to build a robust spiritual core, enabling us to face life's inevitable fluctuations with greater equanimity and a deeper connection to our authentic selves. This prepares us not just for the turning of seasons but for the transformative passages of life itself. The gift of waiting and trust. Perhaps winter's greatest spiritual teaching is the sacred art of waiting with faith. In our instant gratification culture, winter asks us to trust in timing we cannot control and growth we cannot yet see. Farmers have always understood this wisdom. They let fields lie fallow in winter, trusting that this apparent unproductiveness is actually essential preparation for abundant future harvests. The field isn't doing nothing, it's regenerating soil, storing nutrients, and building capacity. Similarly, when we honor our own winters, periods when nothing seems to be happening externally, we're actually doing profound internal work. We're learning patience, cultivating trust, and developing the spiritual maturity to wait for the right season rather than forcing premature blooms. Practices in trust. Note: resist the urge to overplan or force outcomes. Note: practice saying not yet instead of no. Note: celebrate invisible progress and inner shifts. Note: trust your intuition about right timing. Note: release control and embrace mystery. Remember, sunflower-like seeds germinate in darkness before they ever break through soil. Your dreams are germinating even when you can't see progress. Finding joy and connection in the cold. Winter's chill doesn't diminish life. It awakens different dimensions of aliveness. The crisp air sharpens our senses, making us more present and aware. Each breath becomes visible, reminding us of our own life force. Sensory awakening. Cold stimulates nerve endings and increases circulation, making us feel vibrantly alive. Winter walks become moving meditations where the body's response to cold heightens presence and grounds us fully in the now. Community warmth. Winter draws us together in profound ways. The Scandinavian concept of hygge and Norwegian koselig celebrate cozy togetherness, gathering around fires, sharing meals, creating warmth through connection. These aren't just pleasant experiences, they're spiritual practices of mutual nourishment. Contrast as teacher. We appreciate warmth more deeply because of cold, light because of darkness, and connection because of solitude. Winter teaches us that opposites enhance each other, and that difficulty often makes joy more precious. Warmth and togetherness. The harshness of winter calls forth our capacity for tenderness, connection, and shared comfort, revealing that community is a spiritual practice. Winter's cold and darkness naturally prompt us to seek solace and comfort in others. The shared experience of navigating frosty mornings, cozying up indoors, and facing the elements together fosters a unique sense of camaraderie. This mutual reliance isn't just about survival, it's about finding joy and resilience in collective strength, turning potential isolation into profound belonging. In this seasonal shift, community transcends casual interaction, becoming a deeply spiritual practice. Simple acts like sharing a hot meal, gathering around a fire, or assisting a neighbor with a winter chore transform into rituals of mutual care. These moments of shared comfort and support build bonds that are both comforting and transformative, reinforcing the understanding that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of those around us, creating a living tapestry of connection and warmth. Chapter 5. The Promise of Renewal. As winter begins to wane, a subtle yet profound shift occurs, hinting at the promise of renewal. This isn't merely a seasonal change but a deep spiritual truth. What appears to be an ending is often a prelude to a new beginning. The dormant earth, stripped bare and seemingly lifeless, is diligently preparing beneath the surface. It teaches us that periods of introspection, quietude, and even perceived loss are essential for growth, allowing the necessary space for new ideas, strengths, and life to emerge. This cycle reflects the innate rhythm of existence, where every ending carries the sunflower-like seeds of transformation, inviting us to trust the process of decay and rebirth in our own lives. Even in the deepest chill of winter, signs of renewal can be found if we know where to look. A faint stirring within, a glimmer of inspiration, or the quiet resilience of a snowdrop pushing through the frost. These are invitations to recognize and nurture the nascent hope within ourselves and our communities. Cultivating renewal involves tending to these delicate indicators, creating environments where new life can flourish, and maintaining an open heart to the unfolding possibilities. It's about consciously planting seeds of intention, even when the ground feels hard, and believing in the eventual blossoming that spring always brings. Winter's end is a new beginning. The winter solstice marks the astronomical turning point when light begins its gradual return. Though the coldest days still lie ahead, the symbolic shift has occurred, the tide has turned toward renewal. Part 1. Solstice, the turn. December 21st, the longest night gives way to lengthening days. Light returns incrementally, teaching us that change happens gradually, through small daily increases. Part 2. Imbolc, stirring. Early February, beneath frozen ground, seeds begin stirring. Life quickens invisibly. Your intentions start gathering energy even before manifestation. Part 3. Spring equinox. Emergence. March 20th. Day equals night, balance returns, and new life bursts forth. What you nurtured through winter now emerges into visibility. By embracing winter's sacred cycle fully, the darkness, stillness, rest, and inner work, we emerge renewed, inspired, and ready to grow. The roots we grew in darkness now anchor us. The rings we built invisibly now give us strength. The seeds we planted in the void now push toward light. Your winter spiritual practice, an invitation. As you move through this winter season, consider adopting these intentions as your spiritual framework. Slow down. Resist the cultural pressure to maintain summer's pace. Honor your need for rest and create spaciousness in your schedule for reflection and stillness. Release fully. Identify what you're ready to let go of, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Create rituals of release that honor what was while making space for what's emerging. Reflect deeply. Set aside time for contemplation. Review your year, extract wisdom from experiences, and ask yourself the questions that matter most to your soul's evolution. Nurture your light. Tend the flame of your own spirit through practices that feed you, creativity, connection, nature time, spiritual study, or whatever makes your soul feel nourished and alive. Welcome winter not as an obstacle to endure but as a powerful teacher and ally on your spiritual journey. This season offers gifts available at no other time. The gift of darkness that teaches us about light, the gift of cold that makes us appreciate warmth, the gift of barrenness that prepares for abundance. Thank you. May your winter be a season of deep peace, profound insight, and radiant renewal. As you embrace the sacred stillness of these months, trust that you are doing essential soul work, building roots that will sustain you, adding rings of strength that will support you, and nurturing sunflower-like seeds of possibility that will bloom in their perfect time. Remember, winter is not the ending of life's cycle, but the essential pause that makes all future growth possible. In honoring winter's wisdom, you honor your own need for rest, reflection, and regeneration. You align yourself with nature's eternal rhythms and participate consciously in the sacred dance of seasons. Go gently into the quiet. Listen to what the stillness reveals. Trust the darkness to cradle your dreams. And when spring arrives, you will emerge transformed, rooted deeper, strengthened inwardly, and ready to bloom with newfound vitality and purpose. Blessed be your winter journey. May it bring you home to yourself.